Right now, approximately 2 billion cups of coffee are consumed every single day. It is the most widely used psychoactive substance on Earth. More than alcohol, more than tobacco, more than any illegal drug combined. And virtually nobody thinks of it as a drug at all. Caffeine is the only psychoactive compound in human history that has been so completely normalized that employers install machines dispensing it for free in every office. Parents give it to teenagers in energy drinks without a second thought, and withdrawal from it is listed in the DSM-5, the official manual of mental disorders, as a clinically recognized condition. We have medicalized the withdrawal while celebrating the addiction. This is not a story about coffee. It is a story about the most successful workplace drug program in human history, one that was never called a drug program, never regulated as one, and generates over $100 billion a year for the industry running it. And it started with a goat herder who noticed his goats wouldn't sleep. The legend of Kaldi. Around 850 AD in the highlands of Ethiopia, a goat herder named Kaldi noticed his goats were unusually energetic after eating red berries from a particular bush, dancing, refusing to sleep. He tried the berries himself. He felt the same. He brought them to a local monastery. The monks made a drink from them and found they could pray through the night without fatigue. Whether Kaldi was real or myth, the biochemistry is exactly right. Caffeine in nature. The coffee plant did not produce caffeine for humans. It produced it as a pesticide, a neurotoxin designed to paralyze and kill insects that tried to eat its leaves and seeds. What kills a small insect in large doses stimulates a large primate in small ones. Humanity's most beloved morning ritual is built on a plant's chemical defense system. The pre-coffee caffeine world. Before coffee, humans got caffeine primarily from tea, cola nuts, yerba mate, and cacao. Every major civilization independently discovered a caffeine source and built rituals around it. The drive to consume caffeine appears to be close to universal, suggesting the reward it delivers taps something deep in primate neurology. Etymology bomb. The word coffee traces through Turkish kahve and Arabic kahwa, originally meaning wine, because the energizing effect of coffee was compared to the stimulating effect of alcohol. The world's most consumed stimulant was named after the world's most consumed depressant. The two drugs have been in cultural competition ever since. Caffeine does not give you energy. This is the central lie of coffee culture, and it is built into every advertisement, every morning ritual, every "I can't function without my coffee" joke. Caffeine does not produce energy. It blocks the signal of exhaustion. The adenosine mechanism. Throughout the day, your brain accumulates a chemical called adenosine, a byproduct of neural activity that progressively binds to receptors and creates the sensation of tiredness. Caffeine's molecular structure is almost identical to adenosine. It slots into the same receptors and blocks them, not removing fatigue, but preventing you from feeling it. The exhaustion is still there. You just can't detect it anymore. The dopamine connection. With adenosine receptors blocked, dopamine and norepinephrine, the brain's alertness and reward chemicals, flow more freely. This is why caffeine feels good, not just alerting. It is delivering a mild dopamine reward alongside the stimulation. The same dual mechanism, block the negative signal, amplify the positive, is present in several controlled substances. The tolerance trap.
Within days of regular caffeine consumption, the brain responds by growing more adenosine receptors, a direct neurological compensation for the blockade. Now you need caffeine just to feel normal. Without it, the flood of adenosine hitting the expanded receptor field produces withdrawal, headaches, fatigue, irritability, difficulty concentrating. The DSM-5 documents this as caffeine withdrawal disorder. The first cup of the day is not giving you a boost, it is relieving the withdrawal from yesterday's cups. The Enlightenment ran on coffee. When coffeehouses spread across Europe in the 17th century, they replaced taverns as the primary gathering place for intellectuals, merchants, and politicians. The shift from alcohol to caffeine as the social drug of choice coincided almost exactly with the age of reason. Sober, alert, caffeinated minds produced the scientific revolution, the birth of modern banking, and the foundations of democracy, all discussed over cups of coffee in establishments that were the internet forums of their day. Lloyd's of London started as a coffeehouse. The London Stock Exchange started as a coffeehouse. The French Revolution was planned in coffeehouses. Voltaire reportedly drank 40 to 50 cups a day. The stimulant that powered the intellectual revolution of the modern world was the same one now powering your 9 a.m. Zoom call. The Industrial Revolution and the factory shift. Before the Industrial Revolution, human work followed natural rhythms, dawn to dusk, seasonal, punctuated with rest. Factory labor required something different, sustained, clock-regulated, repetitive attention for 12 to 14 hours, regardless of natural fatigue cycles. Caffeine made this possible. The factory owners who provided tea and coffee breaks were not being generous, they were maintaining the pharmacological conditions necessary for their workers to remain productive through unnatural working hours. The modern office machine. Today, providing free coffee is standard corporate practice in virtually every knowledge industry on Earth. It is presented as a perk, a gesture of care, a cultural amenity. It is also the cheapest possible productivity intervention available, a few cents per cup to maintain a workforce in a state of pharmacological alertness. The office coffee machine is the most cost-effective drug delivery system in corporate history. The health claim machine. Since the early 2000s, the coffee industry has funded an extraordinary volume of research producing positive health associations. Coffee reduces risk of Parkinson's, type 2 diabetes, liver disease, depression. Many of these studies are real and the associations are genuine. What the industry's marketing never mentions is that virtually all of them measure coffee consumption against baseline, a baseline that for most regular drinkers already includes caffeine dependence. Comparing a coffee drinker to a coffee drinker in withdrawal is not the same as comparing them to a caffeine-free person. The sleep science the industry ignores. Caffeine's half-life in the human body is approximately 5 to 7 hours. This means that a cup of coffee consumed at 3 p.m. still has half its caffeine active in your bloodstream at 8 or 9 p.m., directly interfering with the adenosine accumulation your brain needs to initiate deep sleep. Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist at Berkeley and author of the most cited modern research on sleep, has called caffeine one of the primary drivers of the global sleep deprivation epidemic. The industry has never funded a study on this. The energy drink escalation. When standard coffee stopped delivering sufficient stimulation for tolerance-adapted consumers, the industry created energy drinks, delivering caffeine at 2 to 3 times the concentration of coffee, combined with sugar, B vitamins, and synthetic compounds, marketed to teenagers and young adults with the language of performance and identity. A 16-ounce energy drink can contain up to 300 milligrams of caffeine, 6 times the amount in a standard espresso. Cardiac incidents linked to energy drink consumption in teenagers are documented in medical literature going back to 2011. The drinks remain unregulated as drugs in most countries. The decaf deception. Decaffeinated coffee is not caffeine-free. The decaffeination process removes approximately 97% of caffeine, leaving between 2 and 15 milligrams per cup, depending on the method and bean. For high-tolerance consumers, this is negligible. For people with caffeine sensitivity, anxiety disorders, or heart conditions who switch to decaf believing they have eliminated caffeine, the remaining amount can be clinically significant.
This is not disclosed on packaging in most markets. Starbucks did not succeed by making better coffee. It succeeded by understanding that caffeine delivery could be wrapped in an identity, a lifestyle, an aesthetic, a daily ritual of self-reward. The cup with your name on it, the seasonal drinks, the loyalty app, the carefully designed sensory environment of every store, all of it is architecture designed to make the pharmacological transaction feel like a personal choice and a treat rather than a dependency being serviced. The sugar-caffeine combination. The most consumed Starbucks drinks are not coffee. They are sugar and caffeine delivery vehicles with coffee flavoring. A venti caramel frappuccino contains 66 grams of sugar and 130 milligrams of caffeine, the two most addictive legal substances in the modern food supply, engineered into a single product, sold as a lifestyle accessory. The industry learned from the sugar playbook and combined both addictions into one transaction. The loyalty app as addiction tracker. Starbucks' loyalty program, with over 30 million active users in the US alone, collects data on purchase frequency, time of day, and product preference with a granularity that maps caffeine dependency patterns more precisely than most clinical studies. The app sends personalized offers timed to the moments users are most likely to be in withdrawal. It is a pharmacological targeting system disguised as a rewards program. The caffeine reset. Neuroscientists document that complete caffeine abstinence for 9 to 14 days is sufficient to return adenosine receptor density to baseline, eliminating tolerance and restoring natural energy regulation. The withdrawal is real and uncomfortable. The result, reported consistently in the research, is more stable energy, improved sleep quality, and reduced anxiety. Most people who complete the reset describe feeling, for the first time in years, what natural wakefulness actually feels like. The growing awareness. A small but measurable cultural movement, sometimes called caffeine-free or sober-curious applied to stimulants, has emerged in the last 5 years, driven largely by sleep science becoming mainstream and by younger consumers questioning substances they were never asked to consent to consuming. It is tiny compared to global coffee culture, but it mirrors almost exactly the early stages of the alcohol moderation movement 2 decades ago. The irony of the future. The same technology industry that runs entirely on caffeine, the engineers, designers, and executives who consume coffee at rates far above the national average, is now developing AI systems designed to optimize human productivity without the need for pharmacological intervention. The industry built on making human attention more machine-like is now building machines to replace human attention entirely. Coffee may have powered the revolution that makes coffee unnecessary.
Caffeine is the only drug in human history that was so useful to the people in power, factory owners, military commanders, corporate employers, that instead of being controlled, taxed, or prohibited, it was actively encouraged, normalized, and eventually made available for free in every workplace on Earth. The drug was never legalized, it was never illegal, it simply became infrastructure. The cup you reach for tomorrow morning is not a choice in the way you think it is. The craving you feel before you make it is withdrawal. The clarity you feel after is the withdrawal ending. The cycle has been running so long and has been so completely woven into the fabric of daily life that almost nobody alive today knows what it feels like to not be inside it. Changed what you'll think about tomorrow's first cup. Subscribe. There's a lot more hiding in the things you do every day without asking why.